Good morning and welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. As we begin, a critical piece of legislation is hanging in the balance in Washington. The renewal of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, a powerful surveillance authority used by the U.S. government to spy on foreigners, is facing a stalemate in the House. This tool, first authorized in 2008, allows for the collection of communications from non-citizens outside the U.S. without a warrant, but it can also sweep up data from Americans who are in contact with targeted foreigners. National security officials argue that this law is vital for disrupting terrorist plots, foreign espionage, and cyber intrusions. However, there's significant concern about civil liberties, particularly regarding the ability of the FBI to search Americans' data gathered through the program without a warrant. House Republicans have proposed a 3-year extension with several guardrails aimed at protecting civil liberties, but it does not include a warrant requirement for searches of Americans' data, which is a major point of contention. The proposal would require the FBI to submit monthly reports justifying searches related to Americans' data collected under the surveillance authority and seeks to ensure access for members of Congress and staff to foreign intelligence surveillance court proceedings. It also expands criminal penalties for abusing the law. Despite these measures, some lawmakers are vowing to oppose the bill due to ongoing concerns about privacy and the lack of a warrant requirement. This issue highlights the delicate balance between national security and individual privacy rights. As the House prepares for a critical vote, potentially as early as today, all eyes are on Capitol Hill to see how this will unfold. The implications are significant, not just for national security but also for the trust between citizens and their government. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that the path forward is fraught with challenges, reflecting deeper debates about surveillance, privacy, and security in the digital age. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a complex and unfolding story involving international diplomacy and conflict. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has found himself at odds with U.S. President Donald Trump over the Iran war. The tension began when Chancellor Merz expressed concerns about the economic impact of the conflict on Germany and Europe, particularly regarding the closure of the Strait of Hormuz and its effect on energy supply and economic performance. President Trump responded critically to Merz's comments, suggesting that the German leader believes it's acceptable for Iran to possess a nuclear weapon, which Merz has since clarified is not his stance. Merz emphasized that Iran must not be allowed to have a nuclear weapon, but questioned the U.S. strategy in the conflict, highlighting the lack of a clear exit plan and the potential for prolonged engagement, similar to those seen in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's essential to consider multiple perspectives in this situation. On one hand, the United States is seeking support from its NATO allies, including Germany, in navigating the challenging situation with Iran. On the other hand, European nations like Germany are concerned about the broader implications of the conflict, including economic stability and regional security. As the world watches the developments between the U.S., Germany, and Iran, it's clear that diplomacy and strategic communication will play crucial roles in resolving these tensions. The relationship between President Trump and Chancellor Merz, despite current disagreements, remains a critical factor in how this situation unfolds. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to take a moment to talk about something that's out of this world, literally. You may have heard about Comet the 100th 2025 R3, also known as Pan-STARRS, which recently made its closest approach to both Earth and the Sun. This comet has been making headlines in the astronomy community, and for good reason. According to NASA, Comet the 100th 2025 R3 was discovered in September 2025 by the Pan-STARRS 2 telescope at Haleakala on Maui in Hawaii. The comet was predicted to be one of the brightest comets to enter the inner solar system this year, although it may not have been visible to the naked eye. Some astronomers expected it to be bright enough for small binoculars, making it an exciting sighting for stargazers. What's fascinating about this comet is that it was captured on camera by a U.S. satellite monitoring the sun for hazardous space weather. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's GOAS 19 satellite orbits about 22,300 miles above Earth and carries instruments that can track solar activity. As the comet passed close to the sun, its ice changed directly from solid to gas, releasing material that formed its glowing tail. Comets like CA 2025 R3 are remnants from the early days of our solar system, made up of ice, dust, and rock. They orbit the sun and may have delivered water and organic compounds to early Earth, potentially playing a role in the formation of life on our planet. As we continue to explore and learn more about our universe, discoveries like this remind us of the vast mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. As we close out today's show, I'd like to leave you with a sense of wonder and awe at the vastness and complexity of our universe. Whether you're an avid astronomer or just someone who appreciates the beauty of the night sky, comets like C 2025 R3 remind us of the magic that's still out there waiting to be discovered. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.